Welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's video, I'll be showing you how you can create your first web page using HTML and CSS, and we'll be using VS Code for that. So we can use VS Code, and as well we can use other code editors such as Notepad++, Sublime Text 3, etc. But the reason why I'm using VS Code is because VS Code is more easy, and VS Code has some inbuilt plugin that can help us achieve our work very fast. So, and as well for mobile users, right? Don't panic. I'm going to share you a link to where you can download the best code editor for your mobile phone, so you can code on mobile phone as well. So check the description of this video to have access to that. So now, once you are here, the first thing you want to do is to create a folder. Right, this folder can be any part on your device, either desktop, documents, wherever you want to put it. So here I'm going to put on my desktop. So I'm going to name it web. So here, as you can see, it's plain, right? So I'm going to open this folder using my VS Code. Alright, so as you can see as well, it's plain. So I'm going to create my first HTML file. So when I click on this icon here, it shows me this. I'm going to put in the file name, which is known to be index.html. So it's compulsory you put .html because it's HTML file you want to write. Just similar, we have PDF, we have doc, we have PNG, we have JPEG, GIF. All these are file formats, so they are very important you put them at the end of your file to show the file formats. So after that, here we have the index. So the first thing I want to do is to declare the HTML to this file. So to do that, I'm going to call on this doc type. Alright, doc type HTML. So now with this, I just tell the system that this file is going to contain HTML5. Alright, so HTML is not case sensitive, meaning you can either use small letter or use capital letter. It's still going to work. But by default, programming is meant to be written in small letter for safety, just like that. Just keep it in mind. Programming should be written in small letter. Your text should be in small letter. But as for this one is doc type, right? So this is how it's supposed to be by default with HTML. But as well, you can still use small letter. It's still going to work. No error, right? So it's still going to work, but it should be in capital letter by default. That is their way of written, or that's their way of declaring HTML. So once you are done with that, I want to get on with my first web page code. Just get along with me, and after I put down some codes in HTML, I'm going to explain them to you. Okay, so now we have some HTML templates, which is known to be elements. All right, so here we have the HTML, which I use to wrap everything up. That is how it's supposed to be. You are saying everything you're writing is HTML, right? So it's wrapped up inside an HTML tag. All right, and this type of tag is known to be a double tag. It has a pair. It's open here, and I close it at the end of my code. Same thing as the head. This head is where we have all the rendered outside link, all the properties we want to use, how we want our web to function. It's always inside the head. This head content doesn't show on our browser. All right, it doesn't show on our browser, but it's the main thing that functions. It's what makes our web function properly, which I'm going to get to that. So the body tag is where we put our content that we want to display on the browser. All right, all the texts we come across on our browser when we are browsing, they are all inside the body. And as well, the footer as well is more like the body, simply because it appears on the web as well. But the way it sounds is what we have at the last of our web when we are browsing, the last thing that we see, but we use it as a constant. When we visit multiple pages, we come across the last text or the last design repeated all over the page. That's that tells you that it's a footer. All right. So yeah. So once that is done, the next thing I want to do is to save it, and let's use that to open our browser. So coming back here, now I can see I have a file here, right? I can simply click on it to open it on my browser. Now, as you can see here, it's plain, right? But there's something I want you to look here at the top here. You can see index.html. That is the file name, all right? And this, we don't get to see it on all the websites we visit, right? We don't get to see index.html, but index is the root of all web, all right? All websites we visit, index is the root, but we don't see it because they rename it, and as well we're going to rename our own just now. All right, so how do we do that? Here in the head, we're going to call on a tag called title. Okay, so this title now, let's put something inside it. So now you can see here it has changed to my Facebook web. That's what we get to see on our website. Probably, when we visit the website, the tab, we get to see maybe the home page, the landing page, the brand's name, so that is where it's being changed.